Engine replacements have doubled in the last 2 years, and mechanics are seeing a disturbing trend. 80% of these failures trace back to the first 5 minutes after a cold start. Here's what's terrifying. The deadliest mistake takes just 3 seconds to make, and even experienced drivers do it every morning without realizing. In fact, modern engines are failing faster than ever because of these 7 cold start mistakes. The most expensive one? It's silently causing thousands in damage before any warning lights appear. And if you're making mistake number 4, you might be cutting your engine's lifespan in half, all because of what you're doing in your driveway right now. Let's dive into mistake number 1, and it's probably the most common one I see. You start your car and immediately rev the engine, thinking it'll warm up faster. Here's the brutal truth. You're essentially torturing your engine. Why? When your engine is cold, the oil is thick and sluggish, like honey in a freezer. It needs time to warm up and flow properly. Every time you rev a cold engine, metal parts are grinding against each other with minimal lubrication. That's the sound of your engine's lifespan getting shorter. Let me break down exactly what happens inside your engine during a cold start. Your engine has thousands of moving parts, all designed to operate with microscopic clearances. When you first start your car, the oil pump begins pushing cold, thick oil through tiny passages. This process takes time, crucial time that your engine needs. Modern engines are built with tighter tolerances than ever before, making proper lubrication even more critical. When you rev a cold engine, you're forcing these parts to move faster before they're properly protected. Think about the long-term impact. Accelerated wear on your piston rings, cylinder walls, and main bearings. These aren't cheap fixes. We're talking about repairs that can cost anywhere from $2,000 to $8,000. Instead, here's what you should do. Start your engine and wait 30 to 60 seconds before driving. That's it. No revving, no racing, just patience. This brief moment allows the oil to start circulating through your engine's vital components. Speaking of killing your engine, the second mistake might shock you, especially if you live in a cold climate. Mistake number 2 is actually something your dad probably taught you: letting your car idle for long periods to warm up. I hate to break it to you, but this old school advice is dead wrong. Extended idling not only wastes fuel, but actually causes more harm than good. When your engine idles in cold weather, it's running rich, meaning excess fuel is diluting your oil. Plus, an idling engine takes much longer to reach optimal temperature. Let's get technical for a moment. Modern fuel injection systems are incredibly sophisticated, designed to adjust fuel mixture based on various sensors. During cold idle, your engine computer commands a richer fuel mixture to prevent stalling. This excess fuel doesn't all burn completely. Some of it seeps past your piston rings and into your oil. Over time, this fuel dilution breaks down your oil's protective properties, leaving your engine vulnerable. Here's something most people don't realize. At idle, your engine is operating at its least efficient state. It's consuming more fuel per minute relative to power output than at any other time. Not only are you wasting fuel, but you're also contributing to unnecessary engine wear and environmental pollution. A cold engine at idle produces more harmful emissions than one that's warmed up through gentle driving. The solution? After those initial 30 to 60 seconds of idling, just drive gently. Your engine warms up faster when you're moving, and the key word here is gently. Keep the RPMs low and avoid harsh acceleration for the first few minutes. This approach gets your engine to optimal temperature faster while minimizing wear and tear. If you're finding these insights valuable, hit that subscribe button right now, because mistake number 3 is something that could save you from a complete engine rebuild. Speaking of engine rebuilds, mistake number 3 is using the wrong oil viscosity in winter. This is like trying to pump molasses through a straw. In cold weather, conventional oil becomes thick and struggles to flow properly. Every second your engine runs without proper oil flow is a second closer to catastrophic failure. Let me explain why oil viscosity is so crucial in winter. Oil viscosity ratings have 2 numbers, like 5W30. The W stands for winter, and that first number is critical. It indicates how well the oil flows at cold temperatures. The lower this number, the better it flows when cold. The second number shows the oil's thickness at operating temperature. Modern synthetic oils can maintain proper flow characteristics across a wider temperature range than conventional oils. Here's what happens with the wrong oil. Imagine starting your engine with thick, cold oil. The oil pump has to work harder, creating more wear. The oil moves slower through crucial passages, leaving critical components temporarily unprotected. In extreme cases, thick oil can even prevent the oil pump from working properly, leading to oil starvation and potential engine failure. The fix is simple. Use the right winter-grade oil. Most modern cars need synthetic oil with ratings like 0W20 or 5W30. That first number, the 0W or 5W, is crucial. Check your owner's manual for the exact specification your car needs. And here's a pro tip. If you live in an area with extreme cold, consider going with the lower winter rating, 0W versus 5W, if your manufacturer allows it. But here's where things get really interesting. Mistake number 4 is something almost no one talks about, yet it's killing transmissions across the country. Mistake number 4, ignoring your transmission during cold starts. While everyone focuses on engine warm-up, your transmission is suffering in silence. Cold transmission fluid is just as thick and sluggish as cold engine oil. When you shift gears aggressively with cold transmission fluid, you're causing excessive wear on your transmission's internal components. Let's dive deeper into why this matters. Your transmission contains complex hydraulic systems that rely on proper fluid flow to function. When cold, the fluid is thick and doesn't flow properly through these tiny passages. This affects both automatic and manual transmissions, but automatics are particularly vulnerable because they rely on hydraulic pressure for everything they do. In an automatic transmission, cold fluid can cause delayed engagement, harsh shifts, and excessive clutch wear. The transmission computer tries to compensate for the thick fluid by increasing pressure, which can lead to premature wear of seals, clutches, and bands. In manual transmissions, cold, thick fluid doesn't properly protect synchronizers and bearings during shifts. The solution is straightforward. After starting your car, let it idle briefly, then drive conservatively for the first few minutes. This allows both your engine and transmission in a warm-up naturally. Pay attention to how your transmission shifts. If it feels harsh or clunky when cold, that's a warning sign you shouldn't ignore. And here's an insider tip. If you're dealing with extremely cold temperatures, consider a transmission fluid warmer. It's a relatively inexpensive upgrade that can significantly extend your transmission's life. Now, mistake number 5 might seem innocent, but it's secretly sabotaging your engine's warm-up process. Blasting the heater immediately after starting your car might seem logical, but it's actually counterproductive. Your car's heating system works by taking heat from the engine coolant. When you crank up the heat right away, you're pulling precious heat away from your engine, extending the time it takes to reach optimal operating temperature. Let's understand how your car's heating system actually works. The heater core in your dashboard is essentially a small radiator. It uses hot engine coolant to warm the air that blows into your cabin. When you start your car cold and immediately blast the heater, you're forcing cold coolant through the heater core, which actually cools it even further before it returns to your engine. This creates a cycle that works against your engine's warm-up process. Your engine needs to reach optimal temperature, usually around 190 to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, for best efficiency and lowest emissions. Every bit of heat you pull away through the heater core is heat that could be helping your engine warm up faster. Here's the smart approach. Wait until your temperature gauge shows signs of warming up, usually when it reaches the 1/4 mark, before turning up the heat. If you're really cold, start with the fan on low and gradually increase it as the engine warms up. This strategy helps your engine reach optimal temperature faster while still providing some cabin heat. Pro tip: if your car has heated seats, use those first. They don't affect engine warm-up and can keep you comfortable while you wait. Before we get to the 2 most critical mistakes, make sure you're subscribed, because what I'm about to share could save you thousands in repair bills. Mistake number 6 is a sneaky one: taking too many short trips without letting your engine reach full operating temperature. This creates a perfect storm of problems. When your engine doesn't fully warm up, water vapor from combustion doesn't evaporate completely. Instead, it mixes with oil and fuel to create a corrosive sludge that slowly destroys your engine from the inside. Let's break down the chemistry of what's happening here. During combustion, your engine produces water vapor as a byproduct. When your engine reaches full operating temperature, this water vapor evaporates and exits through your exhaust system. But on short trips, your engine never gets hot enough for this to happen. Instead, the water vapor condenses inside your engine, much like morning dew on grass. This condensation mixes with oil and creates an acidic mixture that starts eating away at your engine's internal components. Even worse, in cold weather, this moisture can freeze and create even more problems. Over time, this leads to rust, corrosion, and sludge buildup. 3 things that can significantly shorten your engine's lifespan. The solution requires some planning. Try to combine your errands into one longer trip instead of several short ones. If that's not possible, make sure to take your car for a longer drive at least once a week, especially in winter. This allows everything to heat up properly and helps evaporate any accumulated moisture. Think of it as giving your engine a chance to dry out internally. The final mistake? It's probably the most dangerous one for modern turbocharged engines. Mistake number 7 could be fatal for your turbocharger: shutting off your engine immediately after hard driving. This is particularly crucial for turbocharged engines, which are becoming increasingly common. When you've been driving at highway speeds or pushing your car hard, hard, your turbocharger is extremely hot. Shutting off the engine immediately stops oil flow, which can cause the oil to cook and form carbon deposits in your turbo. Let's get into the specifics of why this matters so much. A turbocharger can spin at up to 200,000 RPM and operate at temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The only thing keeping it from self-destructing is a constant flow of oil. This oil not only lubricates but also helps cool the turbo's bearings. When you shut off your engine immediately after hard driving, the oil stops flowing, but the turbo is still extremely hot. This creates a situation where the remaining oil in the turbo can literally cook onto the bearings and other internal components. Over time, these carbon deposits build up and can cause premature turbo failure. And if you're familiar with turbo replacement costs, you know we're talking about thousands of dollars in repairs. The solution is simple but often overlooked. After highway driving or any spirited driving, let your car idle for 30 to 60 seconds before shutting it off. This allows the turbocharger to cool down properly and prevents oil coking. Some modern cars have turbo timers or active cooling systems, but it's still good practice to give your engine this brief cool down period. Before we wrap up, here's a bonus tip that could save your morning commute. Don't skip your essential winter maintenance. A weak battery, low tire pressure, or contaminated coolant can make cold starts even more challenging. Regular maintenance isn't just about preventing problems, it's about protecting your investment. Consider this. Your battery loses up to 50% of its cranking power in cold weather. Your tire pressure drops about 1 psi for every 10°F decrease in temperature. And contaminated coolant can freeze, potentially cracking your engine block. These aren't just inconveniences, they're potential disasters waiting to happen. Now that you know these 7 critical cold start mistakes, you're probably wondering what other costly errors you might be making with your car. Here's the thing, cold starts are just the beginning. In fact, I've uncovered 10 deadly maintenance mistakes that could be draining thousands from your wallet right now. Want to protect your car and your bank account? Click right here to watch that video, because that number 6 mistake might already be destroying your engine.